painful. That's what we're going to be talking about here today as we get our live going on. This has been something that's been flowing through me for the last few minutes here, and I don't have too much time, but I want to come in and just share some thoughts around this. Let me make sure I get this live on all the platforms, and we'll play. All right. So here goes the thing. Like what I just let me take a breath and sit with this. It's not impossible. It's just painful. My name is Niiamah Ashong. I'm the founder of Outliers Edge, which is a movement of leaders who are taking what makes them different to make their biggest difference in the world and doing it in a way that is sustainable and like aligned to who they are. And right now, I'm in the middle of what I call the 10K live game. And this game is to have 10,000 minutes of recorded live streams before December 31st, 2025. Today is December 6th, 2025. And I plan on taking the last 2 weeks of about the last 10 days of the year off, right? So the game really goes until December 22nd unofficially for me. And at this point, I'm at 702 minutes, right? 702 of 10,000. We're getting there. We're getting our first 1,000, almost 10% of the way there. And I recognize something here, but I was watching I bring in these numbers specifically for this particular message because this is something that feels a bit impossible, but at the same time, I know that it's doable. I know that 10,000 is a stretch. It stretches me in so many different ways. I have to be able to like just be able to turn on, be able to allow more imperfection, less polish, more randomness in what I choose to include or not include. And so it's stretching me. But I don't think it like what occurred to me just today is something that's hitting me on like a completely different level. I think this is why the 10K live game is playing out so meaningful for me, and it's because I just finished watching a podcast conversation, an interview with Mr. Beast on My First Million. At the YouTube channel and podcast, and I don't follow them, but I was struck by Mr. Beast. I feel like he plays a really big game out in the world. I know he plays a big game in the world, and I wanted to see his journey. Well, it didn't end up being about his journey. It ended up being about like how he thinks about things and some of his core tenets. And these things are out there. This video has been up since I guess March or April or something of 2025, but it's the first time that I'm seeing it. And when I watched it, one of the main things I got from that I internalized for myself was like the goal can be done. Like nothing's really impossible. The real element is understanding like what will it actually take to do it, and are you willing and resourceful enough to go for it? I think that part right there, the willingness and resourcefulness, that's where I've been finding myself kind of stuck, caught over the last few, however long it's been, right? And I think that this is really becoming clear to me within the 10K live game. So the 10K live, like it's like 10,000 minutes. It's not a short amount of time. It's 167 hours, right? And I started it about 2 weeks ago, something like that. And so I've been, regardless, I have to go basically the entire way. 90% of it needs to get done in the next 3 weeks if this is going to happen. And if it's going to happen is where I keep running into issues. That's the element because it is totally doable. I'm just sending a text. Let me see if I can even find it. 'Cause I started texting this out, and then I realized that um I I I needed to come share it. And so here goes what I wrote, and it's an incomplete thought because eventually I realized I should actually just be sharing it with you all. But it's like I keep trying to do the max of what I want to do slash feel capable rather than what is required. Like, what would it take? I know what it would take, and it's actually super feasible. It's just that I don't want to pay that investment. An easy point: 10,000 minutes before December 31st, which is really 10,000 minutes before December 21st for me. What it would take would be 6 hours a day every day, or 8 hours a day on weekends only. It's, it's not a problem except for family and needing to bring in revenue and profit. The family's straightforward, actually. I can wake up at 4 a.m. and enroll my wife Nicole on to be on board for me for to have the next 3 weeks to have me record from 4:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. each day, including weekends. All right, and then I ended up stopping from there, so I'm going to come back here. So I was just starting to map it. I was like, okay, well, if I really want to do this, like from the family side of things, I could. It really is all about enrolling my enrolling my wife Nicole to be involved with this with me, without like, which is just like, helping to cover in case the kids wake up before 6:30, and then having some flexibility with, this is a weekend. Normally, I wouldn't do anything on a weekend, but having some flexibility in that time as well. So 7 days a week, 2 hours from 4:30 to 6:30 a.m. That's an extra, what is it? 7 days, 14 hours right there every single day. I haven't translated that into minutes, but 14 hours for 3 weeks there. That adds in, what is that? An extra 42 minutes. Check my math. Right, an extra 42 hours. 42 of the 167 hours I need to get to. I'm already, as of the time of this recording, about 12 hours in. So what is that? 155 and another 42 from there. So that would take me to just over 100 more hours I need to make up in three months outside of it. Right, and so like, and then I can do the rest of it within time. But I'm recognizing that, like, the question is, am I willing to wake up at 4:30? Am I willing to like take something on and like withdraw or move things around inside of the husband parent bucket to be able to make this feasible here? Right. So that's one part of it. And there's things I can do specifically related to it. The other side was revenue. Right. And so it's not like I can come on and just spend my time talking or like, hosting things and such. But like, I'm not in college anymore. Like there's real responsibilities, and there's people that rely on me for this business. So there's things that there's ways that I'm like, I need to make sure that even if I'm spending 10,000 minutes live, that it actually is revenue generating. And that part becomes hard as well. Like, I know it's not impossible, but it takes a lot of thought to figure out, okay, how do I make sure that I do this in a way, given that like I could maybe get someone to sponsor the whole thing, one person, like, and this is it. I never thought about this, but I can get one person. I can spend my time saying, hey, I'm going to do 10,000 minutes live in X period of time. In order to do this, would you go and sponsor me so I can just focus this year? You will be mentioned on every single live stream that I have at this cadence, so on and so forth. Right? That's one thing. Like there's a way to create revenue from it. Right? I'm using it directly for the business and with the movement. So we have people come in. I'm talking about the community. We have one-on-one coaching. We have group coaching. So I have pathways to bring things into that. But the thing for me is like, oh, if I'm doing 6 hours, 8 hours worth of being here live, then what time does it leave for me to then go and enroll another individual into a longer term program with me? What space do I have to actually spend time enrolling someone versus just going to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next conversation? And like, that's something I'm trying to figure out overall to make sure that it comes in. And what I get about it is that it's not that it's an impossible goal. It's just that I like doing what it might take to do that feels painful. Maybe it's enrolling my wife again and being like, I'm going to have these enrollment calls late at night or over the weekend. It's like, and it's only 3 weeks, y'all. Like, it's not a major thing. All right. It's a 3 weeks during a relatively slow period of time anyway. For people, it's not like everyone's like, I gotta get everything. That's not the feel. And so it's just, it feels painful to do it. It feels painful to do it. It feels like I have to go and make some withdrawals. It's going to cost me something. I want to make sure that I'm like calling that out and putting this into this place. What in your world do you have right now that feels like it's quote unquote impossible, but it's really just that you just don't want to pay what it might take to actually make it come to life. Even the whole idea of getting the sponsors, like, well, then I would need to actually make it really, really valuable for them. How many people are watching? How many people are listening? How many different ways am I getting this like repurposed out in front of people? How many impressions are they getting? Like, all those things come involved when it comes to a sponsor, because they're going to get some kind of return on the investment that they made, not just like, go for it, Niiamah. And so I think about these things. It's like they're all doable. All these things are doable. I recommend that you watch the episode. I don't have the link readily available, but I'll look out for it. And I'll share. I'll actually just put it in the chat right now. If you're watching, if not, it was on My First Million. It had Mr. Beast. It was probably somewhere around March or April of 2025 when it was recorded, or at least when it was released. I don't want to say the name of it, like the title of it, because they might change it for algorithm purposes or whatever it is. So I don't want to get stuck on that. But I do really feel that there's something real about the element of realizing that it's not impossible, it's just painful. And then asking myself, okay, what do I need to do to withstand the pain? Am I willing to do the pain? Am I willing to put in the cost of it? Right. I'll end this. I'm thinking right now about my physical fitness. For the longest time, I've had a personal trainer for many years, on and off. I've gone to the gym, had gym memberships. Basically, I've always had a gym membership for like the last 15 years, and my weight has just been gaining. In the like 2 months, about a month ago, I actually started losing weight. Like for the first time, I saw my weight going down. And one of the major things that led to it was, yes, like it wasn't really, it was a change in my diet. Let's put it that way. It was a change in my diet, but also a change in the way that I thought about the way I thought about things. And one of the bigger elements that came for me was just like thinking to myself, oh, what if I just keep the streak going? What if I don't have a cheat day? Like that didn't make sense to me beforehand. Like I never, but I didn't realize that, like, I started counting things and be like, what if I was looking at this on, like, did I win for the week as opposed to did I win for the day? Things like that. And what ended up, there was another thing that ended up really making a difference, which was my personal trainer was like, hey, by the way, when you decide to do the weight thing, I know it's not your number one focus, but when you decide to do it, you're going to feel hungry. Right. And so, like, let's find some things to like help you like satiate that hunger, but like know that like hunger is a part of it. It means that it's like it's working, it's doing its thing. And I kid you not, like it just had never occurred to me that like hunger was actually a sign that this was working. Now I'm not trying to starve myself, I'm not trying to put myself in any kind of situation, but it's like, oh, if I'm at a calorie deficit, like whatever the numbers are, if I'm at a calorie deficit, it makes sense that my body might is used to a certain amount of energy in and might be craving something different. And like that hunger is painful. I remember going to my wife and I was like, oh my gosh, hunger is distracted. Like it's giving me a completely different like level of empathy around like real hunger out in the world. Cause this is not like, even when I say I'm hungry, it's just like, oh, my stomach's a little something, something, right? It's like, I'm not actually hungry. Right. And so I look at this and it's like, what pain am I willing to withstand? And like, I'm really fortunate. I want to make sure I'm calling it out. Like I'm fortunate that I know that I get to choose to withstand that pain or not. Right. And so, but it felt like a really real example of like, oh, this is what's happening, especially with us as outliers who create visions that haven't been seen before, who go after epic things, and and are trying to bring to life something that's just like we want to bring it to life. That element of moving from, well, this feels impossible, or this can't be done, and moving instead to being like, you know what, I recognize that it's not that it's impossible, it just would be really painful to make it come to life with the resources I have, or with like what I think is available. However, it is doable. It's just, am I willing to do what it takes to make it happen? And that's a different feel. Like, it's not like I'm trying to like push through, like rah rah. It's not that, but it's about like understanding that like it's not inherently impossible. It just takes more, way more than you might want to give. And I think that like, I'm finding for myself, the more that I am reframing that and seeing that as the real, like what's really there, it's giving me a chance to choose growth over comfort. It's giving me a chance to like be able to call myself into leadership. It's also giving me a chance to be able to say, like, what story do I want to tell? Do I want to tell the story of like, yeah, it wasn't convenient, so I didn't do the epic thing, or is it like, wow, like here goes what it took for it to be able to make this happen. I recognize when that you also have something big going on, and I'm assuming that like it's also going to take a lot of you to go and do it. And if it was easy, you probably would have already done it, and like, so there's just something real in that I'm captured in here. So I want to make sure I'm sharing this with you. I appreciate you for being here. My name is Niiamah Ashong. I want to hear from you, like what parts of this are hit you. If you have anything in your world right now that whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the replay, if you have anything that's going on for you that you feel is like, yeah, like I'm caught in the impossible versus like the painful part, like share a little bit about it, or at least just even say like, if you feel like you're doing something that feels, if you feel like you're looking at something that's impossible but you haven't taken action, go ahead and write impossible in the comments. And if you feel like you are actually in the middle of taking on something, and you realize that it's actually painful for you, go ahead and write painful. And at the very least, we'll be able to see each other, and we'll grow from there. All right. Until the next time we talk, be you on purpose. Journey on.